All right, Tiffany. So where were you at before you started with Guzzo Fitness?
So before I started with Guzzo Fitness, I was feeling like overweight. My jeans and shirt were tight. Just feeling bloated. My ankles would swell. I felt like my heart was always like racing, like stress,
Mm,
anxiety. And I had really bad blood work. My metabolic panel was really bad.
mm,
And I was 20 pounds heavier than I am now. So
right.
it was a rough, I was in a rough spot for sure.
Yeah. So you were in a rough spot and you said a lot there. What do you think was the most difficult and frustrating part about where you were at that point before you started with us?
So the most difficult part of that was it was hindering my job. So I
Mm,
clean houses and it wasn't letting me do my job. I was tired all the time. Had a lot of inflammation in my body. And it was causing me to come home and not be able to be a mom and a wife
mm,
because I had to lay on the couch. I had to rest. I had to take Advil. I couldn't
right.
do the things in the evening that I wanted to do. So yeah, it was a struggle. It was a struggle.
Right. No, it really sounds like it. It sounds like it really hindered like your day-to-day activities in your job. I mean, it's your business. So I mean, ultimately you depend on that. So that makes sense. What was the moment where you were like, I need to finally do something about that? Was there a moment that made that you decided to make a change, or was it just you were just fed up with the way that life was at that point?
Well, I think it was a little bit of both. I definitely was fed up with myself for getting to that point
Right.
and letting myself go because that's very easy to do when you're kind of just going through life. But at that point when I decided to join, Guzzo Fitness was when I saw Emily join and
Yeah.
see her results and her success, and I know her very well, and that kind of motivated me to say, hey, I'm going to make this change. If it worked for her, it can work for me.
Right. So seeing Emily, and Emily's done great. Emily's
Yes.
awesome. She's very
Hmm.
strong, and so are you. You've done a great job
Yes.
too. And we were just talking about the challenge and how fun that is as well.
So
But
fun.
I'm sure it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Like before you started, were you nervous about anything? Was there anything that kind of made you feel a little bit like unsure?
Yeah. So, it's a commitment. And that was something that was making me a little hesitant. Like, could I commit to myself? Can I afford to invest in myself?
Yes.
Is this the right time for me? Um, so those were the things that were running through my head, definitely
Right.
through that. Yeah, for sure.
And what was that? What was that? You were just like, whatever, I'm just going to do it. Was it just you knew someone that you had seen get results, or were you just like, you know what, I'd rather make the investment, make the commitment instead of living like this?
Yeah, so I said, my son is 17 years old and I have committed myself to him for 17 years. And that's how I got to this point. You are surviving as a mother. So
Mm.
you are going to work, taking care of your kids, taking care of your house, doing all the things. And so I said to myself, I want to start investing in myself and taking that time to make myself happy because at the time I was 44 years old when I joined. So, you know, it was time. It was time. So that's what made me change.
I love it. I love it. You drew the line in the sand and you step forward, Tiffany. I love that.
Yes. Hmm.
And so,
And I
so
haven't
what
looked
is,
back.
yeah, exactly. You've been full
Yeah.
steam ahead and you've done great. And so,
Yeah.
um, what has helped you the most in the program?
I think it's a variety of things. Number one for me personally is nutrition. So,
Mm,
the nutrition has, you know, just learning how to manage my food intake, my carb intake, the water
yes.
intake.
The
You
Italian
know, the
cuisine.
Italian
The
cuisine did not
Italian
help.
cuisine.
Yes, yes, that was very important. The Italian cuisine and plays
We've made it work.
yes, we have, and I can still eat my Italian cuisine for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And the education piece is what sticks with you for the long haul. So what have been the results? You talked about it a little bit earlier, but what kind of results have you seen in the program? Not just maybe obviously the blood panels and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, do share. What have been your results?
Yeah, so since I've started, I have lost 20 pounds and several inches
Yes.
in my waist, all over, legs, arms, everywhere. Um, I can clean houses and not feel like when I come home, I need to rest on the couch or take Advil to relax. I just either work out now or I go for a nice walk, and then I
Love
could
it.
do my nighttime stuff. So my biggest result on top of the weight loss was the inflammation has gone down. So
I
I
was just going to
am,
ask about that.
yeah, yeah. So that helps tremendously.
That's awesome. So you feel more comfortable. You're doing the bigger houses again. You're feeling
Yeah.
stronger. Inches are going down. Weight's going down. All that. That's all super positive. But what was maybe something that was a positive result that surprised you? That you were like, I'm surprised at this change, or I'm pleasantly surprised about this.
So I think just myself, I surprised
Mhm.
myself, that I stayed
Really?
committed and that I got through it, that I follow, because if you follow the program, it works.
Yes.
So,
That is true. That's what they say.
if you go off a little, it might, take you through a little detour, but you get back on it and the commitment surprised me that I did it and I learned how to work out again and to eat the foods that are going to help with my inflammation and help me just keep the weight off. So,
Awesome. And how do you feel differently today versus when you first started?
oh, I just feel like my confidence is a lot better. That's for sure. I mean, that's like a huge part of
Really?
life, right? Yeah. Like I have more confidence in myself.
Where
Even though I'm
where where do you
still,
notice the confidence?
just like when I put my clothes on, or just different things that make you feel good about yourself when you have to go out, or even going to work. Like I could go to work, I clean for 5, 6 hours, and I don't have pain anymore. My coach, she's Tracy, she's taught me different ways when I'm cleaning, like to start stretching and do the things to help me get through my
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, coaching's huge in this program, and she's helped me so much too. That was a huge part as well. But
Yes.
I just feel so much better today. Like I feel like I have so much more energy than I did a year ago.
That's huge. No, I'm
Yeah.
really happy to hear that. And so if somebody were in the same position that you were in before you started, what would you tell them? They were a little bit skeptical to join the program or know they wanted to get some help, but they were just a little bit on the fence.
So I always feel like there's that hesitation. You know, the way I see it is there's never a right time. There'll
Right.
always be something, holding you back, finances, job, kids, parents, whatever, just life. So, you have to tell yourself, it's time to invest in yourself and you have to be ready to take the journey because it is a journey and taking care of yourself is a very important part of life for you, not only yourself, but your family, um, and everything else that surrounds you. So
Yeah.
it's sometimes you just, you got to take the risk because without risk, there's no reward.
I like that. You got to step out of your
Yes.
comfort zone. And
Yeah.
if you have an empty cup, you can't fill up anyone else's, right?
Right, exactly. And that's what was happening to me because when I was tired, I was not in a great mood. I couldn't do the things that night that I wanted to do. So,
Yeah.
and it's cold here, in New York all the time. So it's even harder in the winter. It's you have to really push yourself to get out of that comfort zone, and that's what I did.
Right.
So,
Right. Yep. Yep. The motivation, the weather, it's definitely not something that you feel like you want to do. I remember that when I was in Iowa, and I've spoken with a lot of people that live in Pennsylvania and New York, that winter was quite challenging this year, from what I understand. So, I guess
yeah, it's
everybody,
hard.
yeah, come on down to Florida, everybody. Just join us
I know
down.
that we love it there.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you wanted to share before we hop off here?
I just want to share that, I think you and this program has like taught so much about myself. It's,
Oh, that's
life's not
awesome.
perfect and I'm not perfect and, it's a journey and there's ups and
Yeah.
downs, but, I feel like it really is a great path to success that, it teaches you life skills that I will take with me forever, to wherever I end up, in my weight in my life journey. So yeah, I
100%.
thank you for that for sure.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And thank you. And thank Coach Tracy and the whole community. I think
Yes,
it's just a
yes,
great
Tracy.
group and everybody
Yeah.
is so welcoming and so supportive and everybody's working to reach their fitness goals. And so it's great to have someone like yourself who just makes it happen. You got your business, you got your job, you got your family, and you make it all work. And so we're happy to help you out. And if anybody that is here that wants to get help, you feel like you need help getting your health and fitness journey going, just
Mm.
comment the word help below or send me a message, say help, looking for help. And we'd love to reach out and see if this would be a good fit and get you going on your journey just like we did with Tiffany and many others. So anyways, thank you for your time, Tiffany. I appreciate it. And thank you all
Thank
for
you.
watching this. Absolutely.